Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game. Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day, and I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Oregon football practice starts today. This afternoon, everything gets rolling inside Autzen Stadium. Media Day Monday, a lot of anticipation, and now practice gets underway. We'll talk with Dante more. We'll talk with Kyler Casper coming up today. Also, an update to your color schedule. That's right. We left one question mark on the color schedule earlier this month. Now we can tell you that on October 25th against Wisconsin, to my knowledge, it's the first time that tie-dye has ever been on the Oregon football color schedule. So, a fun collaboration with the Grateful Dead against Wisconsin on October 25th. Wear tie-dye. I just can't help but think that one Bill Walton would have had a very special tie-dye shirt that is all kinds of Oregon-themed. Yeah, this is going to be fun. More details to come, but just pencil in tie-dye against Wisconsin on October 25th. Which brings me to the fact that I need to update my closet, and I'm wondering if Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens, who joins us now to kick things off today, do you have very much tie-dye in your closet, sir?
Not right now.
So we're going to need more.
We're going to have to. I'm glad you gave me enough notice to get to work on that.
Yeah.
But I had the exact same thought that you did, is like Bill Walton and the tie-dye T-shirt. So, I've got some work to do.
Yeah, pretty cool, though. So, look, more details to come, but just know that the color schedule has an update. So, slow news summer, Rob. Nothing's happened since we talked to you at, the second week of June, I think, huh?
Yeah, I think, it was as busy a summer from an administrative standpoint than I can remember on new things, right? I mean, we're always getting ready. We're always evaluating the previous year and preparing for the next year, but there was a lot of other things that we had to pay attention to.
Well, I was curious. I mean, so this is going to be, your 16th academic season. Like, you've been through a lot of change, Rob, but this seems like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel blessed to have served for 15 years and excited about the 16th for sure. But, yeah, there's been a huge shift. And, we've seen some shifting over the last 8 years, as we've talked about. But this final 24 months really related to conference realignment, but more recently and effective July 1, 2025, is the approval of the House settlement. And, that's drastic change to college athletics when you think about now we're able to share $20.5 million through rev share with student athletes internal. They still have the opportunity to take advantage of their third-party opportunities for their name, image, likeness. And that's just a dramatic shift. I mean, when you think about the history of college athletics for decades, we had these scholarship limits by sport. We were really trying to create a set of rules that established a level playing field. And like I said, over the last 8 years, there has been deregulation really around allowing us to do more for the student athlete, which is the right thing to do. But this is a big leap, right? When you think about in 1 year adding $20.5 million expense line item to your budget to be competitive. Again, permissive, you don't have to do it. But you have to identify that $20.5 million or you're not going to be competitive at the highest level. And in addition, we went from, scholarship restrictions to roster limits, which, if we had the resources at Oregon, we could add an additional $15 million of scholarship expenses. So all this is really going to change the competitive landscape, puts a lot more pressure on resources. Resources have always played a big role in success, but probably even more so than ever.
Sure. So now the unfair question, where are we going? What's it going to look like in 5 years?
Yeah, I wouldn't even begin to think about 5 years. You know, the House settlement was approved in early June, short runway for an effective July 1 date. And as for people that are following the headlines, there's already been some back and forth about the settlement and definitions or interpretations. So that's being worked out. So I think this next year, you know, implementation, we'll learn a lot. You know, everything's good in theory. You have to apply it in practice. So there'll be considerable time doing that. Again, listen, we'll have student athletes that, you know, earn 6 and 7 figures. And kudos to them.
Right.
That's great for them. We support that. But we still, of our 500, the majority of them are still going to this is going to be the highest level they play. Right. You know, for all 500 student athletes, that degree from the University of Oregon is important. Our highest priority is providing them a great experience and doing everything that we can to give all of them an opportunity to compete for a championship. That's going to be tougher and tougher in this new world.
Right.
Because of, you know, it's just going to be resource driven. But that's still our goal.
Well, I was going to say, too, though, to that point, and in the theme of observing change, and we've seen change, like, everything in theory. I remember it wasn't that long ago we were talking about like the transfer portal in this way, right? And now right. You know that things do get ironed out over time.
They do get ironed out over time. I mean, there's no doubt when you look at the role of intercollegiate athletics in the academy in higher ed, you look at the opportunities that are presented through an athletic scholarship. It's a tremendous what it means to Team USA.
Yeah.
You know, so it's extremely valuable. All those great values still remain. We just have this new element that we're going to have to figure out.
Well, I'll say this: it's nice to be at a place like Oregon too that it's been on the forefront of change over the time that I've been around.
No, that's certainly. I mean, you know, listen, you know, the key to our brand is innovation, right? And you know, we have tried to, you know, be ahead of the curve. And in the last 3 years where NIL was permitted, but with limited guardrails, you know, we were able to continue to compete even though we're not in the biggest market. And so, you know, we have developed a lot of plans and, you know, we'll follow this in practice and adjust where we need to adjust.
And then I'm sure that about every month when Rob comes on the show, we time it out about every month. There will be no new news to discuss. We won't have anything on this subject. And right?
Sure. I mean, as we sit here, the settlement was effective July 1, and we didn't get to July 15th before we were, you know, looking for some interpretations.
Right. So here we go is the point. But I will say, though, in the line of thinking that, hey, everything is still really valuable, and you think about the core of the student-athlete experience, to that point, a school record 11 academic All-Americans this past season. Well, that's pretty incredible.
That's incredible. I mean, and I think our previous record was six. Okay, yeah.
Six a few times.
Almost doubled it. Yeah, that's remarkable. I mean, and we've talked about it multiple times on here of, you know, the demands of being a student-athlete. But, you know, when you think about somebody that's an academic All-American, the ability to have the discipline to perform at that high a level within your sport and also replicate that on the academic side, again, you have to have incredible drive, incredible discipline, and just really structure time in both areas.
If you ever go into the Jaquith Center, you'll see the display of the academic All-Americans. To me, that's one of the more, I feel like, special ceremonies now that occur because there's something to that's pretty special.
100%, you know, and it's in the floor. It's going to be there forever. And so trying to fit in 11 is going to be fun.
That's going to be tough, right? You might have to rearrange some floor panels every now and then.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
That is a great thing. And so we will figure it out. But really proud of our student athletes. You know, special thanks to the coaches, the Jaquith staff, and the entire athletic team who really support our student athletes in that highest priority.
And similarly, broad-based excellence. We talked about the Directors Cup when you were on in June. Since we spoke, it's all gone totally final. And another pretty successful year overall. So remind fans, the Directors Cup, what it means, why it matters, everything.
Sure. I mean, listen, we've for 15 years, we've placed a high priority, and longer, we've placed a high priority on broad-based excellence, and that's giving every one of our teams a chance to compete at the highest level. And one of the ways to measure that is Director's Cup, because you score points in how deep you go in the NCAA tournament. The scoring system it's disadvantageous to us because we only have 20 sports. However, it hasn't changed our goal, and to be able to finish as a top 20 program with only 20 sports is really remarkable. And
right.
I mean, in that there's 8 conference championships and, an indoor track championship on the women's side, a women's golf deep run, and so many other postseason successes. When you add that up and you finish 18th, that's a remarkable year.
So to put that in context, everybody, so say there's an athletic department that sponsors 32 sports. The best 20 finishes are what count toward the Director's Cup. At Oregon, every sport counts, no matter what.
Exactly. Every sport counts. And we don't get all those extra opportunities to pick from.
Right. All right, we got football season coming up. Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens is joining us. I do want to say, though, before we go to break, that tonight, a special celebration for Bill Dellinger at Hayward. If you can't make it to Hayward, there will be a free broadcast available on Runner Space. More details are on GoDucks.com. But, man, what a celebration of one of the greatest Ducks ever.
I started here in August of 2010 and went to the Dellinger,
right.
And had an opportunity to meet Coach and interact with Coach. What a special human being. And if you talk to a Pat Tyson or a Rudy Chapa and you find out the role that he played in their lives and what he meant not only to Oregon track and field, but what he meant to all the student athletes. Wonderful human being, always had a smile on his face, incredibly supportive, incredibly generous with his time. So, he'll be missed, and tonight will be a great celebration.
7 o'clock, the gates open at Hayward. 7:30, everything gets underway. And then remember, the USA Track and Field Outdoor Championships are coming up right this weekend, which is, I got to say, like it felt right to time it out like this. It's a cool connection.
It is a cool connection, and obviously, from as an athlete, as a coach, I mean, his records speak for themselves. Both as an athlete and as a coach. So it is neat that we're able to do the celebration right as we lead into the U.S. Championships.
So again, tonight at Hayward Field, great celebration for Bill Dellinger. More details are on GoDucks.com as we remember a great Duck. Timeout. When we come back, football practice starts today. How about that? Stick with us on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs, and for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working in our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I can envision a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack and Rob Mullens here inside the Country Financial Studio. I'm happy to report that one Rob Mullens is going to get some vacation. He just hasn't gotten it yet.
Yeah, it's been a busy summer. So, I'll check out for a few days.
Good.
It'll be good.
Good. Now, before you do so, though, practice begins today, which is an exciting day.
Yeah, no, very exciting. I've got a meeting here before, so I'm going to be able to get out there towards the end of practice. Look forward to seeing it because – yeah, here we go. I mean, it's game on now.
Yeah, it is. And you talk about how much football drives interest. You talk about how much wins drive interest. There's been a lot of wins under Coach Lanning.
There have. The first 3 years have been phenomenal, and to be able to that first year in the Big Ten was just great. And, when we're doing some in the whole year in review and you look at the TV numbers, it was pretty remarkable. 7 games on national TV, on broadcast. The numbers, the social media interaction, the reach was pretty powerful.
Right. And which means that fans, tickets are going fast. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. And that's, we had that experience last year. I think, we were essentially sold out on a season ticket basis.
Right.
And we're right there again. I get the update frequently, and we're under 100 season tickets available. And we're seeing a strong lift now that Big Ten Media Days has happened and practice is starting. The single game sales for the first 3 games are going really fast. So as we experienced last year, we're likely to be sold out on a season ticket basis. Wisconsin, USC are going to follow as individual sellouts quickly, and then it'll cascade from there.
Yeah, so if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about it, that might be your call. And it's funny, I remember saying that exact same phrase to you around this time last year. That's a good thing.
No, it is a good thing. And we'll get the occasional email about frustration of the secondary market price. Right. But now's your time to get
ahead of it
at face value, because there are still, like I said, I think it's less than 100 season tickets, some mini plans, tickets to the first 3 games, and then a few singles for some other games.
Now, if you haven't been around Autzen Stadium in a while, you've missed some giant yellow cranes that are all around here. So a lot of construction going on, and honestly, I didn't really talk to you much about that last year, but this is a very large project. I know it took a lot of time to plan, and I thought today would be a good opportunity. Like, there's excitement toward the future with the construction too.
Yeah, I think people coming to Autzen for the first home game will be pleased to know that Leo Harris will be back.
Leo Harris will be open.
And parking will be available. So, obviously when you're doing a project of this scale in this footprint, you have to be mindful of the role that, Martin Luther King Boulevard, Leo Harris, and every single one of those parking spots play in the game day experience. So all that's built into the schedule. But, yeah, you'll see some large cranes, and you'll see a lot of progress if you haven't been around. Actually, we have another project that if you go on campus, you'll see the construction fences that are up around Hamilton Hall, which is a campus project. But within that project, the beach volleyball facility is being built inside of Matthew Knight Arena right next to that property. The beach volleyball locker room is being finalized. Busy summer on the construction front.
And there's so much that goes into those projects. Like, there so many people, resources, right? You talk about the biggest resource for all of these is probably people and getting it all done.
It really is. And, there's, logistically, there's just a lot of sequencing, a lot of planning. When you're doing something in Matthew Knight Arena, we already have men's basketball, women's basketball, and volleyball locker rooms down on that event level. Now you're adding in a beach volleyball locker room. And the coordination around the Hamilton Hall project, and we're just one piece of that, but excited to be a part of that and see these facilities come to life.
And on the football front, it's just yet another way that the Ducks continue to raise the stakes, isn't it?
Yeah, no, this has been on the drawing board for quite a while, and it frees up the Mashofsky Center. Because once we get to October, the Mashofsky Center is our most used facility. And so it'll be really supportive of, lacrosse and golf and women's soccer and, everything else, because it's just going to allow some more flexibility in scheduling. So, it's a long way to go, but people will see the progress.
Yeah. On the soccer front, they just started practice as well. First exhibition of the Oregon athletic season for anybody is Oregon soccer next week coming up. Coach Joyner in her first year.
Yeah, for those that haven't had a chance to meet her, I mean, she's got a wonderful story in her YouTube and, her coaching license, but brings an incredible energy, has hired a great staff. Has been working around the clock since she arrived, to get the roster the way that we need it to compete. So this is step one in the maiden voyage under Tracy. But again, the energy is just exceptional.
And her office is right across from us. And I got to tell you, it's really nice when we're the broadcast studio and we are not the loudest people in this hallway. It is great for us.
Well, you got a whole hallway.
Because
you add in Jess Drummond and Cece and Theo and that crew. And, there's a lot of energy right up and down this hallway.
We are very appreciative of that. Every day there's always energy from the teams that occupy Pape Field and our corner of the Casanova
Perfect.
Center.
Love it.
And talking about soccer too, like this is always, I feel like, such a sudden start. Like it always jumps at me.
Yeah, volleyball and soccer come fast. Because they get right after it. Like you said, I mean, they're just starting practice and they're going to have an exhibition. And that's just, the way the sport works. It'll be exciting.
The reason I say that, though, is if you're starting to get that itch for football and just the Ducks in general, all right, here we go, right? I mean, it comes at you fast.
It does. And, there's going to be, a new style, a new head coach. So I think it'll be fun for everybody.
Talking about a new style, new head coach, Trent Kirsten on the volleyball side as well. Big Ten Volleyball Media Days going on. We're going to hear from Coach Kirsten and his team coming up today on the show in just a little while. I'm looking forward to another volleyball season.
Yeah, and me too. And Trent's he's been outstanding since getting here. He's high intelligence, very thoughtful, really strategic thinker, and just been so impressed, again, from the beginning of building the staff, setting a culture, and, working in a very limited time period to put together the roster that he's put together. Again, he's very thoughtful in everything. Student of the game, student of the new landscape.
Yeah.
And I think people are really, really, really going to enjoy Trent in Oregon volleyball this year.
Volleyball practice starts this week as well. Both Coach Joyner and Coach Kirsten will be making their beginning debuts of their weekly appearance on the show next week.
I think if you were out at softball or PK Park, I mean, those two coaches were immersed in Oregon athletics. And so, they were running around having a good time. And so, I would encourage everybody to get out and support women's soccer and volleyball.
And before we know it, cross-country season hits the ground running, quite literally. It comes fast, too.
Yeah, it does. And, listen, we have a lot of elite athletes in that sport. And so our coaches have to try to manage, because a lot of them were competing in international events or, national type events, and they need to, they've got to transition because you need some off time too there. And sometimes I don't think people realize, those elite runners really can, they only have so many opportunities to compete in their country's national championship, or in the under 20 Nike Outdoor Nationals. And so, that it takes, they have to take some time off before they really ramp up.
Sure. Well, we're here. We're back. About every month, we'll chat with Rob Mullens here in the Country Financial Studio. Rob, thank you. Appreciate the time. Anything else you want to highlight what we missed today?
No, just here we go. I mean, appreciate everybody's support last year as we turn the page to a new year. We're excited for year 2 in the Big Ten. There is a lot of change going on in athletics, but one thing is for certain, we still need the support of people in the stands, in every way possible to continue to support our student athletes and compete for championships.
8 conference championships last year. Set the bar pretty good.
That is a good start.
Good start in the Big Ten. Rob, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to get time out. When we return, everybody wants to know about the quarterbacks. We'll talk with Dante more after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Summer, enter for a chance to win great outdoor gear at DearSummerSweeps.com. Toyota, let's go places. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents in select Oregon and Southwest Washington zip codes. 18 plus years of age and take 425 to 11:59 p.m. PT. Void where prohibited. For complete rules, visit DearSummerSweeps.com.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Summer, enter for a chance to win great outdoor gear at DearSummerSweeps.com. Toyota, let's go places. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents in select Oregon and Southwest Washington zip codes. 18 plus years of age and take 425 to 11:59 p.m. PT. Void where prohibited. For complete rules, visit DearSummerSweeps.com.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, it's Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. As Oregon football practice begins this afternoon, it might be the most criticized, maybe most important position in all of sports, the quarterback of the football team. Well, with that in mind, why don't we hear from Dante Moore? He previewed the season, talked a bit about what to expect heading into the second year in the Big Ten and the second year for him in this Oregon offense. Competing to be one of the starters, Dante Moore.
Over the next month, how do you balance battling in your position, not taking anything for granted there, but also cementing yourself as a leader?
Yeah, during this fall camp, it's going to be, a great time to connect with the team and be out there in the field. Of course, the quarterback room is always going to be competing. Just how we are as a quarterback group. We're always going to be teaching each other, helping each other out, and making sure that we all improve, every day. But I guess I'm excited. Of course, I have many things for myself to work on and make sure I get better at. And I guess I'm excited to see what happens within this next upcoming month and get ready for the season.
Lots of uncertainty this season, just with who's going to be starting, who's going to be getting the reps on the field. What are the advantages to that? I know Dan Lanning said at Big Ten Media Days that he doesn't mind being the silent assassin. Do you kind of share that mentality, or what are the advantages to you with the uncertainty?
Yeah, at the end of the day, the best player plays, and of course we have a great room, and I'm excited to keep competing, and then understanding that the things I have to work on to get 1% better. But overall, we're not really worrying about ourselves right now. We're kind of worrying about how to get the team better to make sure that this is another great season. But overall, like I said, the best player wins, and the best player plays in the game. So overall, just ready to just compete, have fun, and that's the most important thing, is having fun.
And what are going to be the keys to just getting the team better as an entire unit over fall camp?
I feel like the biggest thing for us is just to understand that, it's going to be hot, it's going to be long days, but that's the most important time to lean on the brother and understand how to connect with somebody. And I feel like during these times when we're sleeping at the facility, when we're just vibing with each other on our breaks during the day, I feel like that's the best time to understand and get to know somebody. And when times get hard, you feel like you can trust that person, because come game time, it's going to be cold probably when we travel somewhere, or it's going to be hot somewhere. It's always going to be that time where you look at your brother and say, I can trust in you. So I feel like it's the biggest point for us.
You talked about building the chemistry with the team over this fall camp, not just in the quarterback room, but every position. What's that process like, and sort of what does it take to build that chemistry?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it can be in football, a lot of it can be out there in practice, but at the end of the day, I feel like as a team, we always hang out with each other at each other's houses. Like me, I took the whole line out to go bowling. A lot of the offensive skills, you guys probably seen the video of us flipping into the water. Like a lot of us, having great times of that nature. So I feel like just the best thing is just to connect outside the facility. But now it's fall camp now, so we're going to be in the facility now. So, but most important is just talking with each other. I'm watching film together. Long practices, just being out there in Austin is going to be really hot, so I feel like that's the best point to connect and understand that somebody trusts in you.
Was it tough to pass on the batting academy this summer in order to spend more time around?
Yeah, I had a great time last year. I feel like, I said they invited me again this year. Had some things that came up, but overall I feel like being here and, of course, being with the boys is a great thing.
From where he was as a true freshman to where he is now, what have you seen from Corey and kind of how he's grown for the past several months?
Yeah, he's grown being more vocal, especially to me with certain looks and certain things he gets. Like I remember when he first got here, I was doing most of the talking, of course, because like you say, he's young and he's learning things now, but we were in Texas together and we were just out there just throwing at the high school and just, getting closer and closer. And on the flight, we got an install of like our upcoming plays, and we're flying from Salt Lake to here, and we're sitting next to each other on the plane. So I'm like, all right, it's just time to quiz him. Let's see what she knows. And I'm on Snapchat drawing on a little box of like the plays and trying to make sure we're both on the same page of things. But overall, just him understanding the plays now. Spring ball, you're out there playing football. You're just going through these plays, you know what's going on. But he has a full grasp of it now. So he's kind of asking me questions, making sure that I know my things now. But he's a great learner and he's very competitive.
With the Stewart injury, have you noticed any sort of wide receiver stepping up or taking advantage of this opportunity, not advantage, but just stepping in?
Yeah, hurts my soul just understanding how Easter went down and him not being here. But, I mean, like I said, we have a great receiver room still. We have a lot of great playmakers, a lot of guys with, not much experience. I feel like that's how the whole team is, though. Everybody's hungry. Everybody's ready to compete, and everybody's ready to make sure they get better every day. But, I mean, it's University of Oregon. We have playmakers here, so might as well get used to getting them players out there and playing. And East Stools, of course, is a huge piece of this offense, but I feel like we have other playmakers as well to make sure we get there.
Are you and DeCorian going back just to visit Duncanville, or are you going somewhere else in Texas? Where you're at?
No, we train. We train out in like the Frisco, Salina area. That's where we usually train at. But I go down there before spring ball, before fall camp. I always train just to sharpen things up. But he's from there, so make sure you stay with me at the house and just kick it out there.
Dan said at media days that after playing with Kenyon in the video game that he wanted to tell you and the quarterbacks to maybe get him the ball more. Did he ever follow up on that?
Yeah, I haven't seen him say that, but I'm pretty sure he did. I've always knew that. Give 18 the ball, regardless. I mean, ever since I came here, just seeing him, how much of a freak athlete he is, he's just amazing at what he does. But, I mean, that just makes sense. He's the best tight end in the country. Like, you might as well give him the ball. He knows what he can do with it. But overall, he's just really competitive. He's a really great guy. Always keeps a smile on his face. We have the same music taste, too, so that's what I like about him. Yeah.
The expectations for this offense are pretty high, but there's also a lot of unknowns about how this is all going to shake out and what it's going to look like against Montana State. Just what is it like for you going into camp knowing that there are such high expectations, but also a few question marks around what this all shakes out and looks to be?
Yeah, like Coach Landon always says, pressure is a privilege. I feel like with this whole offense, we're talented. We're ready to compete. A lot of us have chips on our shoulders. I know damn well I'm hungry, for sure. So with me, being out there at practice, I know I'm going to push the guys. I'm excited, it's going to be a long fall camp, but when it comes to the season, we're going to be ready for sure.
Going back to Damian Williams, how long have you been working with him for, and does his approach kind of mesh with Coach Steins, or what does that look like working with both of them?
Yeah, so more with Damian is more just technique things, like quarterback. When I'm down there, it's usually like me and Dak Prescott and the Cowboys receivers and me out there just training with them and other college quarterbacks as well. But Damian's just been, of course, a great person to me that, when I go to Dallas, I have a place to train. He makes sure that focus on the little things. A lot of times we do a lot of weight room stuff here, like full body, but as a quarterback, a lot of hip, a lot of torso, a lot of, rotational things. So he's been just helping make sure I stay, disciplined and make sure I keep my routine going. So he's been helping me just, critique my body, and it's been amazing, and I feel like I'm great right now.
Dante, a lot of people talk about how quarterback's the most important position on the field. Just for you personally, what do you enjoy about playing the position? What makes you fired up about that?
It's a great question. Being a quarterback and being out there in the field, I feel like the biggest joy is, I don't know. Actually, dang, it's a great question. I don't know. I feel like it's better when I see, like, if I throw the ball or hand the ball to people and they score and they get in the end zone. I like to see the reactions. I like to see how excited they are. So it makes me excited. So I think that's the biggest joy. Or also, like, when you score a touchdown, if I run and then the lineman pick you up, like, I don't know. It's a lot of joy to it. But I'm just blessed to be a quarterback for sure.
Obviously, the spring game, how did that fall? Is that something you're trying to make more a bigger part of the game this year? We saw that from Dylan.
Yeah, I had a great off summer. I really got my body right. I actually hit my goal I wanted to hit this summer. So Coach Love and Coach Bolt, they've been making sure that I got my speed up and I hit my goal. So I'm really excited, and I'm really see what I can do with my feet. I'm happy about that. Yeah, my goal was to hit 21 miles per hour. I hit 21.5. So I was super excited about that. It made me happy. Almost cried, but it was good.
There's a lot of preparation that goes into being a quarterback and all the big-time teams you guys are playing. What do you enjoy about that preparation process?
Yeah, actually last year, Dylan showed me a lot about preparing for a game. And just the way, of course, he used to stress out a lot, just the way he used to be on his iPad and watching film. And I know when I was there watching with him, I understand how it feels. Kind of brought me back to my UCLA days, my freshman year, being out there on the field. It takes a lot. But I feel like I enjoy it when you prepare so much and you watch this defense, and then when you go into the game, it's like, hey, this safety is rotated here, so I know what coverage is going to be. So I feel like the best thing is to understand what you're knowing going into the game. And I feel like preparation, you can enjoy it. Of course, it gets stressful because there's so many different looks, and of course, the Big Ten is a lot of great competitive teams. But I feel like even Dylan, like, Penn State game, throws a dig route to T. Ferg to seal the game, to get the first down, and the joy he had. I'm like, how'd you know? And he was like, it was covered too. And I'm like, damn, like, preparation, the smile on his face, and make sure we keep moving the chains is amazing. So I know I'm going to prepare my ass off this year, and I'm excited.
That's Dante Moore, Oregon quarterback, one of the guys battling to be the starter. And I'll tell you, just watching him in the spring and even in the spring game, just the poise that he has. And I think it really matters when you go through a year, as he talked about, learning from somebody like Dylan Gabriel, but even just being in the offense again. That stuff adds up. That stuff really matters. Quick timeout. When we come back, Kyler Casper, guy who hopes to have a big year contributing for the Ducks at the wide receiver position. Talking with Kyler Casper next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs, and for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack inside the Country Financial Studio. We talked with Kyler Casper on Media Day, and it was fun for me to get to know Kyler, a guy who got a little banged up last year, figures to have a big year this season. Kyler Casper joined us here in the Country Financial Studio. All right, let's get our tradition out of the way. Kyler Casper is here. First time in the Country Financial Studio. That means you have to tell us your 2-minute life story.
2-minute life story?
The goal is as close to 2 minutes as possible. If you can nail 2 minutes on the nose, no one's ever done it before.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
2-minute life story. Kyler Casper, go.
Okay, so I was born in Chandler, Arizona. While my pops was with the Cardinals. He played for the Hawkeyes for 4 years or 5 years, and then 8 years in the league. Mm-hmm. So while he was with the Cardinals, I was born in Arizona, and then lived there for about a year or something. Moved over to Chicago with the rest of my dad's family. Grew up there till I was around 13 years old. Ended up moving back to Arizona when I was 13, and then went to middle school, high school, all that over there, and now I'm here.
All right.
To go back a little bit and make it a little longer, I grew up just training with my pops. He had a gym in called Extreme Speed in Chicago, so I grew up in there every single day after school. Before practice, whether it was football or basketball or boxing or wrestling, whatever it was, I'll go there, train, and then go to practice. So I did that. Growing up, training with dudes, some of my buddies like Tyler Morris, plays at Indiana now. Reggie played at Northwestern. So all a bunch of athletes, all my friends ended up going D1 as well, playing football. So it was good. I got to train with them as kids and push each other. So moved out to Arizona, kind of continued the same, just training with my pops, friends like that. And then, went to high school, balled out, and now I'm here.
Minute 22.63. Kyle, that was pretty good.
Yeah, there's no good. I'm trying to think of things.
But I like that you went back. You're like, and to make this longer, we're gonna come back. That was wise.
Yeah,
that was
wise.
I
knew it was too fast. It was about like 20 seconds before.
That was good though. Yeah. That was good. So I've been saying this to everybody. It's a lot easier after a 10-year NFL career to fill 2 minutes.
No, I'm sure. Yeah.
Right. So that's the idea. Okay, but now I'm glad that you brought up your dad because I wanted to ask you about your dad. Like. When you think about just that, how cool that factor is, I mean, it sounds like you take a lot of pride in that. Like you got to work out with your dad in that way all the time. What was that like growing up?
I mean, it was great and also the worst thing at the same time. It was the best and the worst thing because, I love him and I always loved him. But some days I hate him. I didn't want to go train out there, but I'm like, now that I'm older, I am so appreciative for everything he did, making me go to train every single day, making me follow a strict routine and make sure I was eating good, make sure I was staying out of trouble and stuff like that. So now that I'm older, I can appreciate all of the hard times that he put me through. But it was good and bad growing up, for sure.
No, I get it. So I became a father relatively recently. So I've got
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've got 2 boys now, and we hope that they're nothing like their dad and they're everything like their mom for obvious reasons. But I mean this sincerely. Like I'm always really touched by like people like you that have had that relationship with a parent because it really resonates with me now. Like you hope that your sons turn out like you do here one of these days. So now this is actually like a real hard hitting question. Right, so I'm going to ask you now, like, what advice do you have now for the dad? What do you think I need to know from someone who got pushed hard by his father to help him get to where he is?
I would say you definitely want to be hard on him. I mean, this is stuff that I'm trying to, when I am a father down the line, I would say just definitely be hard on him. But also when you're outside of football and training and stuff like that, be able to have a great relationship as well. Kind of don't mix it too. I feel like my dad did a good job as that. Sometimes we would mix the two and argue and stuff like that. But I mean, that's gonna happen.
Sure.
But yeah, I would say just separating those two things to the best of your ability is what I would say. Yeah.
Good advice.
Yes,
Good
sir.
advice. I like
Yes,
that.
sir.
All right, now some fun questions for you, okay? I often ask this question. Who is the basketball starting five of the Oregon football team? Now, I don't want to, plant a seed here, but I'm just going to tell you that you come up a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I would hope so.
Okay, good. All right. So who's your starting five?
Okay. I'll put myself at like, let's say the 2 or 3.
Okay.
Shooting guard or small forward.
Okay.
Point guard. Actually, I'm gonna say DeCorian at point guard because I seen him hoop. So DeCorian at point guard. I put J-Lo at shooting guard.
Okay.
Me at the 3, and then the 4 and 5. Who would I put? I don't know. This is tough. I haven't seen a lot of the guys hoop. The 4 and 5, I'll probably say. I don't know. I really don't know.
So I gotta tell you. So receivers and tight ends come up the most.
I was thinking maybe Kenyon, but I don't know if I've seen Kenyon play before.
Kenyon put you on his.
Kingston. I'm putting Kingston in there because he's got some hots. Maybe at like the 4 or something, and then 5. I need a center. I need a big guy.
Yeah.
We might put T Green in there.
There it
I
is.
put T Green. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So you come up a lot, and so I was curious because this is the first time that we've done an interview like this to know like how often do you get to play
Not
these
much.
days? Yeah.
Not
so clearly your limited time has demonstrated to some people that you've got something on the basketball court.
Yeah, every time we don't get to get out there much. Like rarely we'll be able to get out there if we have a little break or something and people are in town because most people go back home or stuff like that. We'll be able to go on like a weekend and went to workhouse maybe or something where we're not feeling too terrible. We might go out there. But when I get out there, my handles and shot might be a little rusty, but I still got it at the end of the day. Yeah, it takes me like maybe an hour or two, a game or two, and then I'm back in it.
So if you weren't playing football, would you be playing basketball?
I would say basketball, and then this might throw you off, but some type of like boxing or martial arts or something like that.
Okay.
I would say those two.
When you mentioned before that, like training, you would do boxing, like whatever. I feel like you're a guy that played a lot of sports, competed in different stuff.
Lacrosse, wrestling, everything.
So you did it all.
Yeah, my dad tried to put me in kind of everything and let me kind of choose what I wanted to roll with. So
makes sense. Are you glad for that? Like
absolutely.
You look back on it?
Well, absolutely, yeah. I think just playing a lot of different sports. I mean, lacrosse too. I played lacrosse growing up, and that and basketball just helped me with releases and stuff like that. Just having my left hand and my right, because lacrosse you gotta throw it with your left and right. So, and basketball same thing. Like now I feel more comfortable when I'm driving with the basketball to my left than even my right, and I'm right-handed. So I don't know. I feel like all that stuff just it helps out. It translates to each sport in a specific way.
Well, I'll never forget this. So Jim Radcliffe, who's been a strength and conditioning coach here at Oregon for decades, he always said like, you need kids that can climb trees, because you're using a bunch of different muscles. So, no, I get it. Okay, a serious football question. You excited for camp?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. Camp's tough.
Yeah. Camp's
tough. There's definitely some parts like, here we go again. But I mean, meetings and stuff get long sometimes, but practice and everything like that, I am excited. Overall, I'm really excited for it. I'm excited for the season to get rolling. That's really when I'm excited for camp because I know that's one step closer to the first game. So that's the thing I'm most excited for. But yeah, I can't wait to get rolling.
Where do you feel like you've grown? Where do you feel like you've worked on the most over the last year? I suppose. I would say a little bit of everything, but specifically, I would say just like mentally, just being mentally just prepared now. I dealt with some unfortunate stuff, especially last year when I kind of felt like I was ready to roll last year, and I was gonna make some big plays happen and get my name out there more, but it got cut short. So I'm excited for this year to go show what I could do, and I know what I'm gonna do, and as long as my body and God lets me stay healthy, I'm gonna go ball out. So. Here's to health. That's always the truth, isn't it? It's the worst part of sports. Worst part of sports. All right, I'm gonna leave you with this one. So I mentioned we do the coach's show with Coach Lanning every week here during the regular season. What's something that you think I should ask him? Like, what's a question that I should ask Coach Lanning at some point?
Ooh,
what should we talk with him about here at some point this season?
This is a tough one. This I wish I'd have known this one yesterday.
Some time to think about it.
Yeah.
All right, now if that's the case, now if you see me after practice one day, you just grab me and go, I thought about it.
All right, well, I would do that. Off the top of my head right now, question. I would say I would ask him why. All right, this off the top of my head. I would probably say, why can't we bring back the pink uniform? Or not why can't we, but why haven't we brought back the pink uniforms? That's off the top of my head.
Pink uniform,
but I could think of a more detailed one down the line. I need some time for that, though.
All right, just find me after practice one day. Just, Joey, I got one for you.
I will for sure.
Kyler Casper, good luck this year.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Have
it.
a good one.
Great to get to know Kyler Casper. Looking forward to seeing him on the field this season. When we come back, Oregon Volleyball at Big Ten Media Days. Some updates from Coach Kirsten. Also, it's watch list season. A lot of Ducks showing up. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think, know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think, know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
As Oregon football practice begins today, Oregon volleyball practice also getting underway this week. We welcome you back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Big Ten Volleyball Media Days going on the last couple days, and yesterday, Trent Kirsten, new head coach for the Ducks, on a lot of new faces. 16 new players for the Ducks. What does the coach think?
Can't wait to get rolling with our team this year. We've got 16 people who haven't played together before, so what a cool opportunity for us to collaborate and figure out how we can discover our best volleyball. I think a lot of people will talk about, the challenges and just some of the things that come along with having so many new people. And I think from our end, we're looking at it as an opportunity, a blank slate for people to try and discover their best, whether they're an incoming freshman or a fifth year, and seeing how we can build and collaborate together and be playing some good volleyball during the season.
Head coach Trent Kirsten there. He was also joined at the podium by Sophia Myers, who played for him previously, and Orion Dror. A lot of teammates that are going through this new bonding experience.
I think it's an amazing opportunity not only for friendships, everybody coming in from all different backgrounds, all different ages, and never playing together before. I think we've approached it from a really fun way. This summer, just spending a lot of time off of the court, going to the river, getting ice cream, just doing small things every week together. And we've already built great relationships, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think it also really helps that we're all going through the same situation, and so we kind of really bond over that as well. I have a lot of conversations about this season and how we're all excited, and just like having the same opportunity, I think already is such a great foundation to really connect with each other.
Orion Dror talking about these new teammates. Sophia Myers, the voice that you heard first. And also, things will look a little bit different, right? New coach, new system. What is the system going to be for Coach Kirsten this year on the volleyball court?
I think in previous years I've come into the season thinking, okay, like this is about the system we're going to run. I think this is how it's going to bring out our best for X, Y, and Z reason. And this year there's so much unknown. You know, I have worked with, 2 of the players in the gym, 3 with Maya. And so we're going to have to collaborate together. And maybe it's not like the exact system that I've ran in the past. Maybe it's, hey, how do we get your best and continue to work on maybe running a faster system or a slower system or this or that. And so I think this, the beauty of this season is it's going to be a really big collaboration with all of our players and discovering, hey, what brings out your best in these situations and how can we talk about it and get on the same page as fast as we can.
Trent Kirsten, head coach, talking volleyball as practice begins this week for the Ducks. Meanwhile, watch list season continues. There's like one every day this time of year. And when you're a good football team, you end up with a lot of guys on the preseason watch list. The Ducks are that. Continuing with those preseason watch lists, defensive back Dylan Thieneman named to the watch list for the Jim Thorpe Award. And inside linebackers Bryce Betcher and Devin Jackson were both selected to the Butkus Award watch list. The Jim Thorpe Award is presented annually to the nation's top defensive back. The Butkus Award honors the best linebacker in college football. Ducks begin practice this afternoon. Montana State, the opener on August 30th. Also on the golf course for the Ducks, big news today for Kiara Romero. She took over the #1 spot in the World Amateur Golf Rankings. The reigning Big Ten Golfer of the Year, now preparing for her junior season with the Ducks. She spent much of last year at #3 in the world rankings before ascending to the top spot here today. Couple players turn pro. Climb that amateur leaderboard. The #1 amateur in the entire world, Kiara Romero. That's outstanding. Tonight we will remember Bill Dellinger at Hayward Field. More details at GoDucks.com. Gates open at 7 o'clock, 7:30. Celebration of Life begins. Talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.